So you're a prepper or you own an RV and you're halfway there in terms of if the shit hits the fan of what you're gonna do. But have you really thought about where the hell you're gonna go? Today, we're gonna talk about that. So let's cue the damn music! Now, for those of you keeping score out there, that Kim Jong-un guy from North Korea, that little millennial freak with some atomic bombs and something to prove, he could potentially cause some big problems for us here in the West Coast, or Hawaii, or Guam, and of course he's threatening to do so. But beyond things like that, we have natural disasters that are going to hit us. We're all on an earthquake zone here in the West Coast of North America, and we've got that super volcano at Yellowstone that's going to blow its head someday. We don't know when, but that's going to cause a whole world of hurt. So the most important thing you need to think about isn't necessarily how you're going to defend yourself or how you're going to feed yourself. It's where the hell are you going to go? Because if you're not surviving that initial problem or disaster, it really is a moot point to even think about what kind of food you're going to eat when you're hunkering down in San Francisco, because it's just not going to happen. And waiting for relief handouts from your government, be it the Canadian government or the American government, good luck on that. I don't tend to trust these bastards because they're going to be slow to deliver, and you don't know what the hell they're going to do to even actually help you in the first place. So let's talk about the meat of this. It's about where the hell you're going to go. Now, cities themselves are just nasty, nasty places to be when there's a disaster, because generally most cities have 1, 2, maybe 3 or 4 major roads leaving out of them that get gridlocked, and you can't even get out. All the food in these cities run out in a few days, and then what are you going to do? You know, I mean, all the parks are going to be stripped of ducks and geese a few days later, and then there's nothing to eat, and chaos will just ensue. And then I guess it'll be some sort of dystopian apocalyptic hell that I don't think you want to sign up for, because I'm definitely not signing up for that, because I'm getting the hell out of Dodge. Now, here in Vancouver, the biggest problem is we got one highway or one freeway heading out, which will bottleneck the shit, and that's why I like to be on the edge of that town, so I can be one of the first son of a bitches getting out. Now, the best way to approach this problem of where you're going to go is to look at a North American population density map. I'm going to pull one up right now for you to look at. Obviously, you can tell where the most of the people are living. And that's where most of the problems are going to be if you're stuck there. So you need to get yourself to a place of low density where you can survive. At a glance at this map, you're going to say, well, those deserts look pretty nice. Well, you really want to be there in July and August? Very little food, very little water, horrible living conditions. Not so much for me. So what you need to think about is forest survival. You need to get yourself a long ways from a major metropolitan area and away from a strategic location that will not be a target for any enemy combatants or problems. Keep in mind, you're going to be competing for scarce resources with millions of people, so you want to be where very few other people want to be. Glancing back at that map, I got a couple places in my head, which I'm not going to tell you where I want to be. But it's going to be in Canada, it's going to be in Western Canada, it's going to be way the hell out of the city. If you were a thinking person, you'd kind of want to be in that northern latitude somewhere between the coast, where all the people are, and the inland plains, hugging as close as you can to that Canadian border. And I would even throw this out there. If this shit really hits that fan, that Canadian border is going down. You can just cross that damn border and come on up here and hide too, because those damn civil servants, they're going to be more worried about their own families than showing up for work. So that border coming into Canada is going to be absolutely meaningless. You got to think about these things. Like, my channel is not a conspiracy channel, but I think these are issues worth talking about, because inevitably natural disasters or insurrection will happen. It's just a matter of time, folks. If you've got the time and willingness, those resources are yours. Rather than relying on some sort of survival kit that the food's going to run out, well, just rely on yourself and be willing to do what is necessary to survive, and think where you're going to go, because that is the #1 problem that you need to deal with. In the meantime, folks, stay happy, because who knows what the future holds in store. It might be a lot better than we expect, and that's what I'm hoping. Be good to each other out there. See you soon.